Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So the title is approximate analysis. That means the title is itself saying like the analysis is not perfect. Whatever the results you are getting, that may not be exact one, but closest to that accurate. Okay. Then why do we need to do this kind of analysis? The analysis may require to get the approximate sections for time being. Quickly you have to analyze and decide. For that we used to do that. And again, already one people have done the very accurate analysis. You want to proof check. That also you can do that. Okay. You can easily find out, okay, this much moment is not going to come. Then you can do some rough idea. Okay, this much load is going to come. So from that easily you can find out, okay, this is the moment this shape was going to come. What are the results are there in the occurrence may not be correct. Right? For example, I'm just drawing the frame. Just drawing the frame. Just having the UDL. Is it determinate structure or indeterminate structure?
Indeterminate.
Okay. So I just want to find what is the bending moment diagram of beam itself, first of all. How will I find? How can I find the bending moment value for the beam alone in this frame? Okay. Before that, I have one option. This is A, the beam. Another one, B. You know the values of these two beams, right? What about the value of this beam? What about this value?
Minus WL square by 12.
Right? WL square by 12. So what about the value here? What about the value? 0. Bending moment value is 0, right? So the distance when you calculate, so you just go to your back and you just calculate your distance. And what is in the value 0 is 0.21 L. If this is L means this is 0.21 L. At the distance of 0.21 L, you will have 0 bending moment, right? And again, this is simply support a beam. What is the bending moment here? This is 1. What is the value?
WL square by 8.
Okay. So now, this support, here is pin support, here is fixed support, right? In the frame, instead of support, what we are having? We are having columns. We are having columns. Even though this is rigidly connected, the frames are rigidly connected. What is mean by rigid connection? The 90 degree always maintained.
Constant.
Yeah, always constant. After the deflected shape, whatever, the beam to column connection will be always rigid. That means they have to maintain the 90 degree between the beam and column. Good. Now, my question is, we are having two sets. The beam having fixed support, beam having pin support. So what about you having actually we can't have an infinite rigidity of column. That means what is mean by infinite rigidity? Here, what is the rigidity of your fixed support? Infinite, right? What about here, this support? Nothing is a 0 because we are allowing rotation. Here we are not allowing rotation. This is your deflected shape. This is 0 slope. Here slope is there. But what about this column? The column won't allow the rotation. That means won't allow full rotation. But also it can't have that much rigidity also. What will happen? This 90 degree, this is a beam and column. What will happen? It will maintain 90 degree, but the joint itself will try to rotate. Like this, this will try to rotate. Yes or no? So some rotation will be there in your joint when you are having the columns. But if you are putting your beam in a rigid wall, you can say it is a fixed support. And if you are providing just a pin connection in your beam to column, you can say that is a okay. All of you know what is the difference between pin and fixed, right? Do you know what is the difference between pin and fix?
Fixed rotation won't be allowed if big rotation.
How will it be there? In practice, how you can connect beam and column. For example, you are having a RCC. Forget about which one you are familiar, RCC or steel?
Or both, sir.
Both you. Okay. Then just come up with first steel section. You are having steel I beam, steel I column, I section. Both are I section. What is meant by I section? In cross section level, you will see the I shape of I. Okay. You are having I beam. You are having I column. Now I'm going to connect the both. So when I'm going to connect, how can you make the connection will be rigid? How can you make the connection is pinned? How will you make? How will you make?
Sir, by completely welding both, maybe we can make it as rigid. For
Sorry?
like welding that column and beam together, like the edges, so we
Okay.
can make it rigid, sir. Pin means we have to bolt it in the center.
Only because of bolt or bolt it at center only, right? Okay. That we have discussed earlier in previous class? No.
Sir, you
Okay.
discussed for two beam connections.
Okay. Right. For example, just assume this is your beam. Okay. This is your beam. In the top is top and bottom are flange. This is web. Okay. This vertical member is web. Top and bottom are flange. Right. This is the beam. I'm going to give some connection. I'm just going to put the bolt in web alone. Okay. This is the web portion, right? I'm putting bolt on web alone. So I'm applying the load. What is happening? What is happening? It's rotating, right?
Rotation, sir.
Yeah, it is rotating. Then what kind of connection it is? It's a pinned one.
Pinned, sir.
We are not allowing any rotation. We are not allowing moment. We are allowing the rotation fully. So now again, instead of putting the connection here, I'm just putting connection top and bottom. I'm arresting the flange. Now applying the load. What is happening? Is it rotating?
No, sir.
What kind of connection it is?
Rigid.
Fixed. The same thing only. How we are going to provide. That is the difference. So in a beam column, so first assumption, just assume I have a connected in this fixed and rigid connection means I have connected the put the connection in flange as well as web. Both are they we will use to connect. And pin means you use to connect the beam and column through web only. Okay, through web only. So now, why I'm saying like that is I just want to find the bending moment diagram for this beam arm. How can I do that? The thing is, we know the column won't have that much infinite rigidity, so it will fall under in between of fixed and pin. Fixed and pin. So what we can do? What we can do is, while pin connection, my zero moment is in support, while fixed support means my zero moment in 0.21 L. So this is infinite in between of two fixed and pin your column to beam connection. So what I can do is I can make it average like 0.21 L plus 0 by 2. I can make this 0.1 0 1 will be there 0.1 L. So I can assume that point of inflection this zero moment lies on 0.1 L. So this is my beam. This is a beam now here. It's a column here. It is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume my point of inflection. That means zero moment is lying on 0.1 L distance. So this is approximation. What I'm doing is approximation. I'm just applying zero moment here. Zero moment here. Right? So now thing is a fixer? Does assume is a fixer kind of fixer? We are having three unknowns. Three on each joint. So 6 unknowns. 3 equations. So your indeterminacy number of unknowns is 3. Right? The 3 things we have to find out. But we know that many analysis and we can find out in the beam you won't have any axial forces, not much axial forces. You can neglect in the girder. So only unknowns are your vertical and moment. So you are having 4 unknowns, 2 equations. So your indeterminate is 2. Your indeterminate is 2. So how many additional equation I require to make a determinate beam is additional 2 equations. So that equation I can make, this is a one hinge, this is another hinge. So on hinge, you know that you don't have any moment, right? Here is a 0 moment, right? We know that this is 0 moment value. Moment is 0, here is 0. So the column is going, beam to column connection going to come in between these two. So what we are going to assume? The average of inflection point. I just assume 0.1 L from left and right, that inflection is going to be there. Okay, that means 0 moment point is going to be there. So then I know that I can easily find out. What I can do is I can make it so if I am having this is B is C, is A, B dash, C dash D, right? So the thing is here I am making a RB, this is RC means this load, this support reaction will act on here also, right? This will come here. So this will be your RB, this is your again RC. So if I'm going to calculate, this length will be 0.1 L, this is 0.1 L, this will be your 0.8 L. So if you're having load easily, you can find it. For example, in this problem, this is your 10 kilonewton per meter. This is some 5 meter beam. Okay, so this is a 10 kilonewton meter. This is also 10 kilonewton per meter. 10 kilonewton per meter, right? So 0.8 L will be 0.8 into 5. How much?
4.
4. So here again 0.5 meter. Here again 0.5 meter. Right? So now I just want to find out the RB and RC. So what will be your value? WL by 2, right? That is WL by 2 how much? RB equal to RC equal to WL by 2. 10 into 4 by 2 how much? 20. It's WL by 2 only, right? Yes or no? So now I just want to find out A, B, C. A dash B, A, B dash. This is 10 kilonewton per meter. I'll be there. And again, this 20 kilonewton will act on here. What about this length? This length is 0.5. So I can easily find out what about my maximum bending moment here. What is your maximum bending moment there? The point 20 into 0.5, then plus 10 into 0.5 into 0.5 by 2. So this is your moment about A. So hogging moment, right? That is your hogging moment. If you are taking moment about A equal to 0 plus MA equal to 0, MA equal you will get minus, so and clockwise it will add up. Right? So like that you can find value here also. It's a simple one. So that's the only approximation we have to do here. The same way, we are having if you are having the load acting on lateral load, how we can approximate? How we can approximate? This we can approximate based on again inflection point. The bending moment diagram for this frame will be the bending moment diagram for this frame will be equally it will come, so equal values sagging and hogging. Okay, so you can easily see here that inflection point, 0 moment point, are nearly mid of the span. So what I can do is I can assume hinges on all the beams, mid of the beams and columns. Mid of the beams and columns. When I'm doing that, I'm going to make my beam as my frame as a determinant frame. How we can do that? Okay. So the thing is, if is all of you, I just said to get proper idea, what you can do is you take two frame. Okay. Just take this as a homework to make you understand more. Keep EAS constant. Okay. Then second problem. Same 4 meter, EAS constant. I hope you can solve these two problems by using either MDM or slope deflection method. Just try it. And third one, and third, you just do both. Either MDM or slope deflection method. Any method you can use it. Just find the bending moment diagram and shear force diagram where exactly your zero moment is occurring. This 3-1, please try to solve and let me know on tomorrow class. How will the bending moment diagram, all those. Before it, now. So when you are drawing the bending moment diagram for this lateral load alone, sorry. This lateral load, this will be the bending moment diagram, and you can see here sagging, here hogging. So because sagging here, this hogging will be developed here. Again here your hogging will develop. Okay. So the curvature is changing, hogging and sagging. Somewhere your moment will be zero. Somewhere here negative, this is positive, this is positive, this is negative, this is negative, this is positive, means the values are changing somewhere, right? So that when your moment is changing, you know that is zero moment. So that we can say as an inflection point. We used to call as an inflection point. This is based on, this is a displacement profile. So there you have inflection point. That inflection point nothing but no moments. So no moment means I can assume there is a hinges. Okay. So that method is called Portal method. That method is called Portal method. What is the assumption? What is the assumption? You can assume hinges on midspan of beams and hinges on midspan of columns. And then one more major assumption is, for example, this is not single frame when you are having multiple frames. When you're having the multiple frames, right? I'm applying the lateral load. So the thing is, the portal frame assume each frame as a single frame. This is a one frame. First, second again another frame. This is third frame. 4. It's a kind of superpositioning. You are finding one portal frame and again finally superpositioning method you are using and you are going to find the results. So because of that assumption, in major, one more major thing is, if I am applying the lateral load, for example, this is my U beams and columns, everything is uniform. If I am applying H here, the shear force will be H by 2. The base shear. Sigma H equal to 0 means that will be H as H by 2. That is a thing, right? So when you are doing like this, here you are applying the H, the value, the V, whatever V or H, the shear force if you are applying laterally. So how much it will be transferred by here? So how much it will transfer is, whatever the value will transfer as some value. We don't know what is the exact value. If I am putting H, means the internal column will carry 2H. The external column will carry single H only. So internal column the shear resisted by internal column is twice than resisted by external column. Okay, that is a major assumption here. This is a major assumption here. Okay, so the internal column will resist the shear by twice. Okay, so the major assumption, and I can say like at a given floor, the shear at the interior column hinges. Shear at the interior column hinges is twice that at the exterior column hinges. Since the frame is considered to be a superposition of portals. So these are the major three assumptions you should remember for portal method. Why we are assuming like that? Because zero moment at midspan. Both are zero moment at midspan. That's why we are assuming this kind of assumptions. Okay. So when you are doing three assumptions, by using three assumptions, we are going to solve one problem now. We will solve it now. Okay, we will solve it. We are going to solve some multi-brave frame. Okay. 1, 2. Yeah, like that. Okay. So the span is 16 feet. This you can take 12 feet. This is 1,200 pounds. Laterally, you are applying. Okay. Then you have to find out the reaction and everything. Use the portal method of analysis, portal frame. So what will be your first assumption? This is a frame. What will be your first assumption?
So hinges on the midspan of beam.
Hinges on span of the beam, right? I'm pointing hinges here. Then second assumption.
The hinges on column.
On column, that also midspan.
Yes, the midspan.
Right? So hinges we are assumed like that. Then for third assumption, what will be your third assumption? So now I have made hinges. So hinges are there. So here you are 1,200. There will be here already one hinge is there. Here already one hinge is there. Here already. This is your part hinge. Okay. So this is your height of 6 feet now. So tell me now. This is hinge. What about shear now? Third assumption. If I am assuming here, this is going to resist by now. I'm keeping this is V. This is V because both are external column. Internal column will resist by
2V.
Okay. So now in this I can easily find out what is V. What I have to do? Take sigma h equal to 0. So take sigma h equal to 0. 1,200 positive minus 456 V equal to 0. So finally your V will be 200 LP. So one value we have found. V value is over. That is your 200 value. What is your next one? Next main procedure is I have to find out the reactions at each hinges. So always take this corner where your load is acting on that. That you have to take. If your load is acting on here means that you just take it. Okay. Where the lateral load is acting on that corner, you just try to take it. So before that, I will just numbering. I will try to number A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So I, J, K, L, M, N. So now I am going to take this corner. Okay, I'm going to take this corner. The corner have L, A, and I. Okay, at the joint A we are having 1,200 LB. Load is already there, right? So now what are the reactions? Because we have removed this part, the hinge is there. At that time, when you are removing, we should have applied the reaction. That's a hinge. How many reactions will be there? X and Y. Horizontal and vertical reaction only going to be there. So horizontal and vertical reactions I'm going to draw now. So This is I'm going to put something like this because that 1200 may be registered by like that. Okay, this will be Ix, this is will be Lx, and again I will have Ly, Iy, right? So Ly, Iy, these are the values, right? Now I have to find out. What is my Lx, what is my Ix, what is my Ly, and Iy. Already we found out what is Lx. What is Lx? What is Lx?
200.
200. So that I already find out 200 LB. Okay. So now thing is very easy. So sigma h equal to 0, you just put 1200 minus Lx minus Ix equal to 0. So Lx we know that 200 LB. So this is 1000 LB will be equal to Ix. So whatever your assumption of direction is right. So Ix is 1000 LB. Now, next one you have to find out vertical reactions. How will you find the vertical reactions? Ly also we don't know, Iy also we don't know. Then you can take sigma m about I equal to 0 because that is hinge. That is hinge. I can take moment about I equal to 0. Then I can take it. Ly is minus anticlockwise. Ly. What is the distance? Is the center of the span. What is center of the span? 16 feet means this is 8 feet. This is 6 feet. So Ly into 8, that is over. Then again, this one, Lx, this is clockwise, Lx into 6, which is equal to 0. I'm taking moment about I, okay, moment about I. So everything we have included, right? So what about your Lx value? Lx is 200. So what will be minus my Ly? This is 1200 will be 8 Ly. So Ly will become 1200 by 8. How much it is? It is coming around 150 LB. So this direction also, right? We just made it. Ly is 150 LB. So what about Iy then? Then Iy will be sigma v equal to 0. So sigma y Ly is minus 150. Again minus Iy equal to 0. Right? So Iy will be equal to, again it is coming minus 150. So your direction is wrong. Then you have to change your direction. Direction I am going to change now. This is my change. New changes. So Iy will be equal to 150 LB. Right? So now over. In the 3 joints, we have found all the unknowns. Right? Then what is the next step? This one. 1, 2, 3. ICJM. ICJM. So I am having joints here it is there. So I, C, J, and M, right? So now already we know what is the reactions in the I. So in the particular joint, everything should be 0. Sigma h equal to 0, sigma v should be 0. So this is in this direction, means you are at the joint, you have to put in opposite direction, right? Opposite direction we have to pick it. This is your known value. Ix is 1000, here is 1000. If you are applying like this, that is towards the joint, that is towards the joint, like that you have to make it. And here this is like this, upward. So I'm making as a downward. So sigma v equal to 0 at that joint. I 150. That is 150. So if I'm drawing at a joint I, so already we found out here this value. This is 1000. Okay. Again, this value we found out 150. At the joint, both should be equal to 0. I'm taking degree of freedom. So this value, if I'm applying here, so this should be here. This should be here. Then only plus minus will be 0. Again, plus minus will be 0. That's the joint when you're adding that. So 150 is above top. So I'm putting this segment, I'm putting that down. Okay. So again here, this is J, right? I don't know what is my J. X. I don't know what is my J, Y. Again here, M, X, M, Y. We don't know, but MX we know. How much? This is the interior one. 2 times of V. That will be nothing but your 400 LB. So that also we know that. The unknowns are MX, JY, JX. MX, JY, sorry, MX, we found out already. Mx is 400 LB, right? Sorry, Mx is 400 LB. My, Jy, Jx are unknown. So I can easily find out Jx. How we can find out Jx? Sigma h equal to 0. So 1000 minus Jx again minus Mx equal to 0. What is your Mx? 400 LB. So Jx will be equal to Jx is minus, right? 1000 minus. So Jx will be equal to 600 LB. Here minus will be there, so both will be positive. So whatever the assumption of direction is right, so this is 600 LB. So what is the next one? We have to find out the My and Jy. So if I want to find out My, I can take moment about J, sigma moment about J equal to 0. I am doing that. So again 150, this is the distance of 8 and 8, right? 8 feet. This is also 8 feet. This is 6 feet, right? So I'm taking one moment about J. So 150 into, so anti-clockwise, 150 into 16. Then again, My. This is My I'm going to find out. So clockwise, My into 8. That I don't know what is My. Then this is Mx. Mx clockwise again. So 400 into 6 is equal to 0. 400 into 6. So the 150 into 16 is also the 1 minus 2400 plus 8 My. This is also 2400 will be equal to 0. So your My will be equal to 0. So this value will be equal to 0. So vertical direction at point M is 0. Horizontal value is 400. So now I can find out easily Jy. How I can find out Jy? Sigma V equal to 0. So this is the first step, second step, and third step. Sigma V equal to 0. So sigma V equal to 0, 150. Then again is a 0. My is 0. Then plus Jy equal to 0. So Jy equal to 150 LB. So what are the assumption of direction is right? So you can keep it like this. So this is over. So that reaction also we found out. Okay, that each hinges we are finding the reaction, and after that you can find out easily bending moment diagram, everything. So like we are discreting the element for all frames, small segment. Okay, now so ICJM is over. What is the next one? JEKN. 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 Right? Okay, now we know that already J, what is the values? It's a 600, so that is that direction. So here 600 will be this direction. Then J is upward, so I can make it as a downward 150. It's over. Then again, what are things are there? We know that. We don't know anything. So now I can, I don't know what is my K, Kx, Ky. This will be Nx, Ny. I don't know what are the values. Just simply I am just putting the drawing. Okay. So Nx already we know that. Again is the internal one, 2 times of V. So 200 LB. 2 times of V, 2 into 200, 400 pounds. That we know that. Right. So again we have to find out all other things. How we can start? Again you can start sigma h equal to 0. I can take summation of h equal to 0. Summation of h equal to 0, 600 is positive. Then minus 400 minus kx equal to 0. So kx will be equal to 200. Right? Kx will be equal to 200. So this is 200 LB. Then again I have to find out Ny. Ny both are similar only, same 150, 400 reaction. Same thing only, right? Same kind of equation only going to come. So I can directly say my Ny is 0. My Ny is 0. So again this 150 will become here as another 150. This is a positive that only going to come. It's the same one. Same only are going to follow. So everything we found out. Ny, Nx, Ky, Kx, and this term. So finally we are having this internal segment, right? Finally we are having that internal segment. can take final segment KGO. KGO. So we just discussed here. So K value here KX. So this is opposite KX 200. All right, 200. And then this is upward. So is a downward 150. Downward 150. Then here again we have to find out what is OX, what is OY. Already we know that what is OX. There is the external column, only V. So we are having 200. So OY only we have to find out. Because this 200, this 200. Finally, you can easily justify your things are correct because this horizontal 200, this horizontal 200 automatically become 0. Sigma h equal to 0. So your problem is correct. Then again, sigma v equal to 0 put mean this is up downward, this is upward. So I can take this as a 1TL. So over. So now we know that all the values. Now we know that all the values. Right? So what is now this segment? Particular segment, what is my reaction? Particular segment, what is my reaction? Everywhere we know the what is the reactions, right? Now I just want to find out the moments at the support, moments and reaction at the support. This part, LB, MD, NF, OH. How we can do that? So LB is there. Then MD is there. Then NF. Then OH. So now we know what is reaction, what are the reactions are there, and L. What are the reaction and L? Go to the L value. So L we are having LX and LY. So in L we are having 200, 150. 200 and 150. So what we have to do? So opposite directions we have to put now the same joint. So L I am taking. What is L? This is L. Previously we found out 200 and 200 in left direction, and again 150 in downward direction. That we found out when you are going. So we are going to put another segment, not that segment. So this will be left direction. So I am putting the right direction, 200 LB. So this is downward direction. So I am giving as a upward direction 150. So the axial value is 150 here. So what about my bending moment diagram now? What will be your bending moment value? So already we know that what is your B value will be. That is also will be the 200. So sigma h equal to 0, we will get the 200 values, 200. That won't be changed. Now, what about your bending moment at B? This is your 6 feet, right? So 200 into 6. Be clockwise or anti-clockwise?
The anti-clockwise.
Anti-clockwise. Because this is already clockwise. So your resistance will be in anti-clockwise. So the value is 200 into 6. It will be 1200 km. 1200 km. Then again for M, what is your M values? Mx is 400. My is whatever the value is 0. 400. My is 0, right? So mx is 400. Again the direction 400 will be there. So we have no reactions. So this will be 400. Again this will be the 400. Will be like that. So what about your bending moment? This will be again 406, 2400 meter. So what about n? N is same direction, same value 0. Both are symmetrical, kind of not symmetrical. It's identical. So I can have it 400, 6 meter. Then again this will be a 2400 meter. Again OH. Class. 1 second. Again OH. So what are the values? OX is 200, so this will be here 200. The value is 150, so these will be 150 here. So upwards is there, is the downward value will be there. So the bending moment diagram will be 1200. Okay, so the anti-clockwise. The bending moment are over now. So now I want to find out the beam bending moment diagram. Just a beam segment only I have to find out. At this junction, AIL. AIL. I just want to know what is my bending moment diagram. How will you find out? I know what is I value, right? I value is here 1000. IY is 150. So what about my bending moment diagram then? At A, what is my bending moment? This is 8 feet. What will be your bending moment?
So 150 into 8 clockwise.
So this 158 into clockwise, this will be, we will get 150 into 8 kN meter. Here will be 0 moment, right? Zero bending will be there. Then again, next. I want to find out what about moment about ICM. Okay, first we will just go with KJO also. KGO, the N1. Simply KGO. So what about your K value? K is 200 and 150. 200 and 150. So what about your bending moment now? Same 150 into 8. So what about the value?
So
clockwise and
clockwise.
This is anti-clockwise. So again will be clockwise, right? So I'm just here. I'm going to draw the value. So this value will be. So like that, we have to find out what are the values are going to come. So just check it out. Each and every joints you can go ahead. Like that, you have to draw the bending moment diagram, each and everything. So how much is going to come in each value. So balance I will just continue tomorrow because I have another meeting now. Just a major outcome of this class is, so we are just approximating. We are making the indeterminate frame into determinate frame by just making 3 assumptions. Major 3 assumptions are midspan, we have to assume hinge at midspan of both beam and column, and then internal columns will take care of twice the shear than the external column. Okay, so just assume these are the major one. Please remind that. Okay.